Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres, and today is the 26th day of December 2017. It's the day after Christmas, and I want to make this video because I got a couple of questions today, and for some reason I came out after dinner to do my thing before I go in for the night, and I was kind of reminiscing about what it was like when I first started doing this. And the questions that I got were, really loaded questions. Like, what, when it's really cold, what do you do? That's a loaded question. Like, it's 7 degrees below zero right now. Today it was blowing about 30 knots, and it was 50 below wind chill factor, which around here is dangerous. But I'm in northern Michigan, so we get used to it and learn how to deal with it. I was talking with a guy that was expecting it to be down to 20 and was a little concerned about his Mangalitsas, and I kind of get that. But I think the part of the question that was overlooked was how do you deal with the panicky feeling that you have, when it's this cold, tires bump on the road and nothing wants to start, and it's just miserable to do anything and everything, and machines don't sound the same when they run, and if something does break, I had to tape up a wiring harness today, and my tape wouldn't even stick. My electrical tape wouldn't even stick. So I know the feeling when it is brutally cold, and especially when you have animals out and young animals. You might be in bed and your house is warm, but you're thinking, my animals are outside suffering. Okay, so what do you do about that? With farming, it's not like a lot of things. Like, there's not a specific thing that you must do. There's a lot to the whole pasture raising of pigs, and it's hard to answer that question definitively. But what I can tell you is what has worked for me. And, I've had some real bad train wrecks. I even made a video one time. I came out with a bunch of dead little pigs that were born, I think, the day before. I don't remember exactly. But the wind came up out of the north, and my porta huts were clocked so that the wind came directly into them. And that happened during the night when I was asleep. I came out in the morning. It was still, but I had lost a bunch of little pigs. And it happens. And I made the video because I wanted you guys to know that, hey, this is going to happen, and you got to prepare yourself for it. And when it does happen, you'll press on through it, all right? But when it comes to this brutal weather like this, what do you do? How do I answer that question? I think what the guy needs to know is, how do you deal with the panic? The panic is because you don't know, you don't have the experience, you haven't walked down that road yet, but you will. And I'm going to tell you what I do, right? There's a lot of input out there, especially on Facebook, of how to raise pigs, Mangalitsa's especially. And I can only tell you what works for me. What I do every night in the wintertime is, after we eat, I come out to get the stink blown off me, I guess. And I check on things, and when it's brutally cold like this, if a door gets left open to the shop, the water can freeze up in there, and I can have major problems. But with the animals, I do everything I can for them. Now, what can I do? I can make sure that they're out of the wind, right? So I can provide them with some sort of windbreak. And there's been times when I've had to just take bales of good hay out there and stack it up so they have something to get behind. When I wasn't quite prepared, as I should have been. But, they really come first. And I'm not going to feel too good about snuggling up to a warm bed and my wife when I know that they're out here and they're suffering and there's something I could have done. Another thing that I do, and I want to recommend this is paramount, really, is bedding. You can have pigs that can be out with no roof, and so long as they have bedding, something that will keep them insulated from the ground, they'll be fine. They will be fine. Even, we're not going to have rain in this type of weather. It would be snow. But if we did have snow, that snow on their back is actually going to insulate them. And I've made videos when I come out in the morning, I sneak up on them, and they jump up, and they'll have 4 inches of snow on them. But they're as warm as they could be, because that snow gives them a blanket of insulation. So if you do that, you make it kind of a discipline when it's cold like this to step out of your comfort zone, come outside, check on them, make sure they have enough bedding. After a while, you'll start to see what would make things easier for them by the way that they behave. And you will learn the answers to these questions as you just do it. Remember Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson, he's from my neck of the woods back home. He said, if you do the thing, you will have the power. If you do not do the thing, you will not have the power. So if you get out there and do it, then you'll learn what you need to do by doing it. You know, instinctively it will speak to you. And know that you're going to have train wrecks from time to time, and set your mind that you're going to overcome it. It seems like Mangalitsa in the United States is kind of breaking free, and it's going to take a lot of people and a lot of effort to meet the needs that I'm sure are right around the corner. Things are going well for us, and I'm hoping people will grasp a hold of this, and I don't want people getting scared off by having a little bit of bad luck in the wintertime. If you're going to have bad luck, it's when you have bad weather like this, when you have heavy precipitation, big time mud, and then cold weather. That's when you're going to have rough luck. And so these are the times when you got to take the precautions. I don't expect anybody to live in fear, but take precautions when you have tough weather and be proactive, and you should be okay. But if things don't work out, press on through it. It's Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm.